Alright, here we go. I'm making a quick video. Just throw away some of my bubble gum. Never throw away a man's bubble gum. That's messed up, man. But yeah, I'm probably gonna, like I said on Friday, I'm probably gonna make a video where it's describing my, my Ottoman. So it's gonna be kind of like a game tour. In my Ottoman, man, my Ottoman goes back now. It goes back like 7 years. I don't know if even I've had the same Ottoman. I've changed Ottomans, I think, over the years. But now I have this little gray Ottoman that, make sure that's not someone I know. Yeah, I have a gray Ottoman that I use to keep my games in it. And over the years, I have gained and lost so many games. It's funny, so many games, like a quote that my little brother and I always quote, so many games. But over the time, I've lost a lot of them, I've sold a lot of them, namely sold. So like Dragon Quest V for the DS, and Dragon Quest 8, or Dragon Quest 5, I sold one of my copies for the DS. Sold that for like 250 bucks. Maybe a little less. It was a lot of money though. And at one point I owned all the Dragon Quest games, but since I just realized I'm not a big Dragon Quest guy. That being said, I do want to play Dragon Quest 5 and 8 at some point in my life. And I say 5 and 8 because 5, I almost beat 5. I can't tell you how close I was to beat 5. And I truly adored 5. At some points it was a little bit of a slog, but it's one of those games that perfectly like describes what Dragon Quest is. Like, to me, 5 is the quintessential Dragon Quest. Like, I know they just remade 1, 2, and 3. But 1 and 2 hold a special place in my heart because I had it for Game Boy Color. And I still have it. And I played Dragon Quest not knowing for one that it was Dragon Quest. I played Dragon Quest after I played Dragon Warrior Monster 2. And I played Kobe's Adventure. And that game brings up a crazy amount of nostalgia. That game to me is like my Pokemon. I played Pokemon Blue, and I really like Pokemon Blue, but I like Kobe's Adventure so much more. There's something about Kobe's Adventure where I was like, it was just so, it's so nostalgic to me. Like, there's few games that give me that nostalgia like burst, like Kobe's Adventure. That was definitely my favorite Game Boy Color game. And I absolutely adored Kobe's Adventure. And then Dragon Warrior Monster 1, I think I had, but I never actually like played. And then I got Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest. Oh my god, sorry about that. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 for the Game Boy Color. I played quite a bit of 1 and 2, and I never beat them. And then I got 3. My brother got 3. And we played that, and my brother got further than me in it. But I was going through a pyramid in the game. And when I was going through the pyramid, I got attacked by these 3. They're the hooded guys with like the, I forgot what they're called. They're Dragon Quest games, Dragon Warrior Monster. They all have like the same like creature variants. This guy, I killed them, and then my characters just gained like 70 levels, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? And I stopped playing after that. I showed my brother, and he's like, what just happened? And for some reason I just stopped playing after that. I don't know what it was, but then Dragon Quest 8 was the only other one I remember coming out. And I remember I wanted it so bad when it came out. It came out on PS2. And I wanted it so bad. I wanted, like, that was one of those games that I was like, man, I want a PS2 for that. Like, besides God of War and, like, Metal Gear Solid, like, there was a few games that were locked on the PS2 at the time. And I just wanted them so bad. Especially Dragon Quest 8. I wanted it more than Shadow of the Colossus. I wanted it more than Okami. That was, like, the game that I wanted so bad. And then when I was in Texas with my wife, I remember it came on the 3DS, and I had my 3DS with me on deployment. And in Texas, we were pre-mob, and she was able to come down before I went over to Kuwait. And I was like, can we go to GameStop? I was like, I want to see, you know, what they have. And we took an Uber, and it was literally across the street, and it was like a waste of like $20. And then I saw the game, and I was like, oh man, I want that game. And then my wife was like, I'll buy it for you. And then she grabbed it, and that was one of the only games that she's bought for me, and that's not like a bad thing. You know, it was one of those things where she was just like, I'm buying it for you right now, and I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. And I never beat it, but I did play a lot of it. And same thing with Dragon Quest V. I played way more Dragon Quest V, but no Dragon Quest have I ever beat, and that's just kind of like it's a thing about me. Like, I don't beat that many games. And Dragon Quest V, I remember I had it for my 3DS, and I actually played quite a bit of my 3DS. I beat a few games on it. Like, I beat Link Between Worlds, which was wicked good. Majora's Mask, I beat on there after playing a lot on the 64. And I beat the Luigi's Mansion 2. I beat Fire Emblem Awakening. I actually played quite a bit of my 3DS. Played a shitload of Super Smash on the 3DS. That was probably when I was the best at Smash. Yeah, I played a lot of on my 3DS. I beat some other games on my 3DS. I beat Dawn of Sorrow again. And I bet a bunch of other games. But I had Dragon Quest V, and I played it the most on, I really only played on 3DS. I played maybe 2 hours back when I got on DS. But I got the DS version for Christmas that year that it came out. And it always had a special spot in my heart. And it's one of my OG games that I've had for a long time. So Dragon Quest V, it means a lot to me. And I should pick it up from my little brothers. I should pick up most of my games from my little brothers, even though, like, I'm like, here, they're your games now. But then I'm just like, let me take them back. So kind of a scumbag in that way. But my little brother does not give a fuck. He would be like, just take them. Like, you are like your favorite games list. Like, you just keep on switching. So my tendencies are always to just switch up. So that's why, like, my favorite games list is kind of like not really complete bullshit. But like my top 10 are pretty not really concrete, man. Come on now. Yeah, I would say now my top 3 are concrete, but there's still some games that I really need to play. I'm gonna just head in real quick and get some water from my household, and then I will be back with said water, and I'll make another video. So that's right. Like I said, I was gonna be right back. So this video is back to back about right after I was done with getting the water. It's funny, man. All my tendencies are always the same. It's always I said that I wasn't gonna make videos, you know, like as consistently, and I wanted to make 2 a week, but sometimes I feel like talking and sharing what I am thinking. This is another spot that the wife and I love. It's actually a Target in Bedford, New Hampshire. And when you come out here, you can never tell with the scenery. Like, I wouldn't be able to show you. But this is actually like on a hill, and you can look out. And I remember the first time we came to this location, my wife and I were just like, wow, like that is amazing. That is an amazing view, and it is the most beautiful Target that I've ever been to. And that's a weird thing to say, you know. It's a location, and Target, you know, in 20 years probably won't even be here. But you know, whatever they did up here, they did a lot of work. And I don't know what was here before. I don't know if Target's the basis for why this was built. But it is kind of crazy what was built. You know, around here to like how much was built just to warrant that wall. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful setup up there. Back to the video. You know, like I was saying, Dragon Quest V, Dragon Quest VIII. I actually just sold Dragon Quest IX, but I never played it, so it had no significance to me. Dragon Quest X was multiplayer only, and then Dragon Quest XI never really clicked with me, which is sad. I wanted it to, but it just never clicked. For me, Dragon Quest, I'm not gonna say that it's stuck in a previous era, but to me it kind of is. Like, I cling on to that nostalgia of Dragon Quest Monsters and Dragon Quest V. And I think Dragon Quest V nails everything about a Dragon Quest that you need to play, because it merges Dragon Quest, like it came out before Dragon Warrior Monster. It came out before Pokemon, and it's like monster taming at its original. And then when you play the DS remake, the graphics are beautiful. So it's like this perfect blending of like really just old school and just very innovative with a great story, especially for its time. I know people who love Dragon Quest V love it, but I feel like the especially the greater video game like world does not know about Dragon Quest V. Again, if you're on YouTube and you go through some of the RPG like YouTubers, you'll find out like about Dragon Quest V. But that's really the only way. You're not gonna hear like, oh, Dragon Quest V, man, you gotta, like, some people are gonna say you gotta play this game, but if I bring it up to most people, they're not gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. They might know Dragon Quest, but that might be as far as they know. Again, I don't really talk to many gamers. I talk to my little brother. I talk to my buddy Lucas. And I talk to my brother. Everyone else I talk to, not into games. So, yeah. And if they're into games, they're not into the games I'm into. They're usually into multiplayer games or MMOs. So, I just think that Dragon Quest V is leagues above a lot of the competition. And the only reason it's not on some of my lists is because I never beat it. And usually that's very important, especially being my top 25, is for me to beat it. And Dragon Quest V I just never beat, so I came damn close. I forgot. The last thing I remember is I was in a fairy realm, but I know I was deeper into it. I remember looking at a walkthrough, and I was probably close, maybe 3 hours away from beating it. And it's a pretty long game too, so and there's so much in that game. There's so much in that game. So many secrets, so many things you could skip over. But tremendous game. I would say the game that reminds me the most of it nowadays is probably Ni no Kuni. That's probably the game that reminds me most of Dragon Quest V. And that was a phenomenal game too, but you know, it has a bunch of like, it's just the I probably just wouldn't play it today, so but younger me, out of high school, I was like 19 when I first played Ni no Kuni, and I really liked it. So that was 14 years ago. that I first played Ni no Kuni, and I really enjoyed that game. But I'm still trying to kind of choose a game to play. I'm wondering if I just play through Arkham Asylum again. My little brother, his boyfriend played through all of them. He was like, these are so much better than I thought they were going to be. And I just don't know if I want to play Arkham Asylum for like the 15th time. Like, even playing it the other day, I was like, yeah, of course I know exactly what to do. I'm like, and it's been like at least 6 or 7 years since I last played Arkham Asylum. But just like Fable, they're both Fable and Arkham Asylum. I'm like, okay, I remember exactly what to do. So those are probably the two games that single player games that I've beat the most, is Fable and Arkham Asylum. But I'm gonna pick up my wife some sour candy, some Sour Patch Extremes, the sour ones. That goes without saying. But I like picking her up a little bit of this and that when I go to when I'm on a drive, especially when I kind of hint towards it. I'm like, that'd be good. Should I go out to get it? And then she's like, no, just stay home. But if I have the opportunity to go out and grab something for her, I'm going to do that. So I appreciate you guys. And I am going to head in and grab that for her and bring in the water. And then take care of my little pup with her ears. And then after that, rub my wife's feet, rub her back, brush my teeth, take a shower. What else information do you need? There's some stuff that I got to do when I get home. But then after that, I might play Arkham Asylum for an hour or two, then go to sleep. So I'll see you guys next time. And I never want the camera to get that close. You kind of see how goofy I look. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time.